Hi there, this is Tim with an Elite Dangerous video, and in this video I'm going to take you through the main changes in the new beta 1.1. Basically I have access to this because I was an alpha and beta backer all the way from the Kickstarter for the software, and basically they've given people that had access at those points access to upcoming patches before they're actually released, so that we can test them and basically make sure that changes that they have made actually work. And it makes sense because you don't want to release an update that things don't work, and you know that because they're in a multiplayer environment, they're going to have to roll back things that don't work. If people lose money due to some change that they've made, they're going to have to refund them, and basically it's going to be a whole big mess. So they're trying to test upcoming builds so that they don't have to do that. When I logged in the other day, I was basically told to update my launcher. After I did that, then Elite Dangerous 1.1 showed in the list, like you can see on the screen right now, and there was an install button over here on the right. After it was downloaded and installed, the same as the full game would be in this option, then basically you get a play button on the left hand side. Now when you launch the game, it's actually a duplicate of your main game. You basically have to set up a new character, so it doesn't interfere with your main gameplay in any way. So before I get into the game, there's a couple of things that I can't really kind of show you, kind of general changes. They've added a Russian language translation, which is pretty smart. There's actually a huge space sim community that use the Russian language, and they've updated the French and German translations. They also allow supplemental devices to be used. They count as gamepads, and this allows people to use independent throttles, custom control panels, etc. That's also a pretty good change. So here we are inside the game. I'm currently docked at Dalton Gateway, which is where Frontier have basically said that certain things will actually be happening. You can see on the what's normally the Galnet news over here on the right hand side, they're actually using that to actually communicate with testers. They're actually, telling you to test the community goals. And obviously telling you when those are completed. Friendly fire system needs to be tested, test missile effectiveness, test station responses to ship collisions, test discovery data and first found. That a community goal in Ekanir has been completed. I think that was actually a bounty hunting. Let's see. There we go. So there was a community goal to do a certain amount of bounty hunting, and then I believe there was a discount given on the Python at the station after that actually happened. So basically, the community gets rewarded for for grouping together on these things. The test interdiction has been requested to test the graphical user interface color changes are persistent. Try to kill the capital ship in Frigaya, which I might actually have a go at that one because I've managed to make some capital ships jump out before. And then here it says that in LHS 3447 news, Kina is in trouble. It doesn't have enough food to match demand. So basically we're being asked to help with that, and then it's just basically telling you how to report issues, welcome to the beta, and then obviously where the community goals are. And like that previous news said, there's actually a food shortage in this system, and that's actually where I am now. So I'm going to show you that. And here at the top you can see there's a community goals icon, which I'm going to open, and basically you earn rewards by selling food to Dalton Gateway, and it basically has the storyline behind it. And then it says that the current tier rewards are a minimum cash reward of 2,000 credits. So the reward kind of goes up based on how much you've kind of taken part and how much the community as a whole has actually contributed to getting rid of this issue. And you can see, you know, there's a reward for being the actual single top player. So if you bring the most food out of anybody, you're going to get 20,000 credits that's just yours, and then obviously you get the global reward, which on this screen shows 5% off metal for 2 days. If you're in the top 5%, you get that much, top 15 that much. So that's actually pretty interesting. I think that's a good way to get people involved with the actual storylines of the galaxy, and I kind of like the direction that they're taking there. Now, as far as what other kinds of goals that they're actually going to set, I've seen ones where a system decides that it needs another station or its first station. You know, if there's an explored world where they basically decide that that they want a station built there because they found an Earth-like world, they think that they can use it, then the community can actually get that station built. Or if there's a system that decides that it wants a battleship, they could actually start a community goal to make that happen. So that's pretty interesting. There's supposed to be a few different types, but they'll all basically be asked for through the bulletin board. Okay, so apparently now when you do a mission, oh, that's quite nice. I don't know if you can see that, but like normally when you open the mission it would open in its own little window. Now it doesn't. It actually fills up the whole of that side, and it actually seems a lot quicker and smoother opening that way. But basically now when you complete a mission, it now includes the major faction change as well as the local faction change. So that's quite nice. Something that they've done that I am super happy with is in the outfitting here. Let's find something that's actually going to have them. Okay, so here you see you can now sort the modules. So basically it's currently done by price, which is I think how it was always done previously. So you'd have the cheapest thing to the most expensive thing, but they're all mixed up. It's so difficult to sometimes find things. I think you often will miss something, especially things like cargo upgrades. But now, you know, you can actually order them by all of these things, which is fantastic. If you choose module type, for example, these are all of the refineries, so you don't need to really look hard for it. There's the fuel scoops, and if you're looking for the largest cargo or shield generator that you can actually get in this station, there it is. It's right there. So that should be a lot easier for that kind of usage. They now apparently show stored ships in the correct locations, which I'm amazed that they didn't fix before. I think it's a little bit strange that they didn't. But anyway, I think basically you'll see these little ship icons in the right place now, which I've never noticed being wrong because I normally only have 1 or 2 ships. And I'll normally sell one that I'm bored with, you know, to pay for the second one. But anyway, let's show you something here. How far away from Sol am I? Not that far. Okay, 135 light years. This should be possible. Route unavailable. Well, that's not a good indication. I would have thought it would be possible to get here, considering I've managed it before. Perhaps that's not working, but you are supposed to be able to let's upgrade my frameshift drive and then we can see whether it's working or not. That should easily be enough to make it, if it's going to work. So, okay. Let's try to this one that didn't work previously. There we go. So yeah, I just didn't have the jump range to actually make it there. So now basically you can plot a route up to 1,000 light years, which really should make exploration a lot easier, everything a lot easier. Let's see here. Okay. You can now show star color by the actual class of the star. So basically now you can see very, very easily, very useful for explorers again, you can actually specify which kind of stars you show and which you don't, and it's very, very useful because you'll be able to see whether you can actually scoop from a system easily before you go there. And I suspect there'll be a lot less people getting stuck in systems without being able to scoop that way. They've fixed searching for stations. It now correctly cycles between all systems that contain a station with that name. So here I know that there's actually more than one station called Dalton, which is the station that I'm in now, but I know that there's more than one station. So here's a random one that obviously has one in there, and another. Here we go, I can actually open this one to show you. There you go, Dalton City. They've also fixed searching using generated system names, so that it only matches systems that have that name rather than also matching to authored systems. If that means what I think it means, then basically they've just improved the search algorithm. They've added discovered by tags to the system map. Now I probably can show you that in action. So if I go to this station here, to this system here, I can actually buy the exploration data. I'm going to do that, and then what I should be able to do now is open the system, and then I can actually see who first discovered it. This is the player's name that actually first discovered these. There we go. And what you have to do to be listed as a first discoverer, it's actually shown over here and over on the left hand side, is to do a surface scan of the object. And the cartographic shop apparently now has information on the right hand side here that wasn't there before. I haven't done a lot of exploring to actually know what is new on this screen, so you'll have to forgive me there, but I guess this is new. They've made improvements getting NPCs to leave a crowded station when a player is denied docking permission. They've added chevrons to the pad schematics to indicate direction players should face when landing, and I can actually show you that one. That's pretty easy. If you look at the this down here, you can actually see a little chevron in front of the ship. That's basically supposed to indicate the direction that you're supposed to be on the landing pad, and I'll just kind of show you as I leave here. Obviously I'm pointing out at the station right now, and the chevrons obviously show that. I'll just head outside, and then when I come back into dock you'll see the difference.
Landing gear retracted.
Okay, let's
Scan detected. Docking request granted.
okay.
Under attack.
For some reason I have a wanted status.
Under attack.
Okay. So there's my docking pad here.
Landing gear deployed.
And as I move down, you should see... There we go. You can see the chevrons, which now point to the inside of the station.
Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
So there we go. Just going to clear that bounty. I have no idea what I did. Landing pad numbers are now consistently numbered front to back, then clockwise in stations. So that's really, really nice. You're going to consistently know, if you have a low number, you're going to know it's at the front. If you have a high number, you're going to know it's at the back, and it's obviously going to go clockwise around. I think that's great. I didn't really understand the numbering system before. I thought it was a bit crazy, really. They've increased the timer before dishing out a bounty for trespassing in a station to 90 seconds from 30. People in big heavy ships should be able to avoid being killed for that mistake. What they mean there is that when you've gone into a station without requesting landing clearance, which we've all done, you'll now have time to get out before they kill you. So combat changes. They've rebalanced shield strengths at different pip levels to make those levels useful. That's quite interesting. I've never really moved my shield pips around very much when I'm in combat. I usually just put it up higher when I'm hiding behind an asteroid or something, waiting for them to recharge. But that's interesting. They've rebalanced shield cells to take more power, have less ammo, and generate more heat, and cost more per unit than before. And if you look at my screen right here, you'll see that the program has actually just crashed. So I'm just going to send them my crash report. That's basically what testing is like, I wouldn't think anything of that, really. They've increased ammo for the top range shield cell banks slightly. So the cheaper shield cells, basically they've nerfed them. The most expensive one, they've probably made it a little bit more useful. But it depends how you used it. If you basically lived off shield cell banks, you're screwed. They've lowered the ammo count and increased the cost per unit for the chaff launchers. I'm quite happy with that. They've lowered speed, maneuverability and shield strength on the Python. I'm quite happy about that too. They've made a collision damage update. Damage is now calculated at both ends and each apply half. It should no longer be possible for one party to miraculously escape undamaged from a collision. They've changed the mass velocity to damage calculation. It should now be more consistent and harder to damage large ships with small ones even at high speed. I think that's the correct decision, but I'm a little bit upset about that because I've used actually ramming as a tactic a few times when NPCs were going to jump out on me, and I now know that I can't do that. They've automated turret fire, and it shouldn't aggro non-hostile ships. Interdiction can now be a crime. It probably depends on the system and what the police and security levels are like in that system. But I agree with that. You know, if someone is going to interdict me just to waste my time, then you know that is pretty annoying, and really it should be a crime. You know, it's basically the same as walking out in the street in front of a car when someone's trying to drive down it and basically stopping them going where they're going. It should be kind of considered dangerous. They have different combat bond values now for each ship type. What that means is that if you're in a combat zone and you kill a Sidewinder, you're going to get less money than for killing obviously a bigger ship. That's great. I'm very, very happy about that, and I now will probably be spending a lot more time in combat bombs rather than bounty hunting. When a player accidentally hits an AI ship, damage is accumulated. If a threshold is exceeded by multiple hits or a powerful weapon like a railgun, the ship turns hostile. So basically, if you get over a certain threshold of damage, they're going to turn hostile, which is probably how it should be. If the AI ship recharges its shield to 100%, or if a 30-second timer runs out before you hit them again, they will forget their hostile status. So basically, you would be able to run around or run away, and they would forget that you had actually hit them. If a ship is scanned by the police and they discover that it has a bounty, the station won't turn hostile. Well, I've actually just shown that because the station didn't get hostile towards me when I was trying to dock there. So just the police will attack, not the station itself, and I think I've just shown that. They've rebalanced heat gain in certain weapons, beam lasers, missile racks, ECMs, chaff, plasma accelerator, pulse laser, and rebalanced plasma and dumbfire weapons entirely. That's quite interesting. I think that's going to kind of change what weapon loadouts people are using. The amount of heat generated can be often limiting on what weapons you can actually choose. They've prevented an infinite stream of pirates in extraction zones. Now, I'm of two minds here. It's probably more realistic what they've done, but I like the combat. I don't mind the repetitiveness of just killing them, and I don't even feel that it's that repetitive. So I hope they've not made it too bad, but I guess what it does do is it makes me go from one extraction zone to another rather than just kind of farming one. So I guess it's realistic. I'm not sure if I'm going to like that yet. They've increased the player arrival distance in capital ship scenarios. That makes sense. I've jumped into a couple before, selected the opposite side to a capital ship, and been within range of its guns, and that really was pretty annoying. Not sure what this one means, but top benefactors support added to system map. I don't know what that means. Can't really say what that is or what it isn't. What I thought it might be is in some way related to the community goals, where the top person is added in some way to the system map. Visuals have changed. They've added a fancy new gas giant shader. There's city lights on inhabited planets, and they have a parallax shader for cloud layers on terrestrial planets. And I should be able to show you those last two in a moment. The visuals on the ships, they've added the Pilots Federation rank decals. Weapon damage visuals have been improved. Headlights have been rebalanced so that they're slightly more useful in an asteroid field, and if you've watched my previous videos you'll know that I've actually done some combat on the dark side of a planet and could not see anything even with my lights on. and obviously they've done various tweaks, fixes and crash fixes that I didn't find that important to mention. So I'm just going to do the show you the a few things that I just mentioned there. It's loading back up. So into the outfitting menu, and here on the decals you can now see that there's the founder and a skull, and there should also be Pilots Federation rank decals, but I don't see it. I was kind of expecting to see that there, but it doesn't seem like it's there, so maybe there's something special that I have to do. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, they say that they've added Pilots Federation rank decals. I guess that's what that could have been, but it kind of makes everybody look like everybody is elite. So headlights, I'm not going to show you those. What I'll do now is I'll undock and show you the planet outside, and then you can see the new cloud layers and the lights on the dark side of the planet.
Ship released. Engines engaged. Landing gear retracted. Scan detected. Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
So I'm just going to take you in. I actually want somewhere with some land mass rather than just water. Those clouds actually do look a lot better. I like what they've done there a lot. And as I get round the dark side of this planet, you should eventually start to see some lights. There we go. Just going to move away from the planet a little bit. Let's have a look here. So there you go. I mean, I think on certain planets, I mean especially Earth, it'll be really cool to see this. I think it's... I actually wondered how they were going to do it, and they've actually done it in a very British way, because in a lot of kind of old world towns, the roads aren't straight, you know, they're not like blocks, but I don't think really any planned civilization would actually make roads the way that they are in the UK, where basically you have a town in the middle and you have roads going out in every direction from that. I think it would be more like the Midwest US, where every single street is a straight line and every single corner is a 90-degree turn. So it's a little bit strange kind of seeing it like this, because I thought that they might have thought about that and you know, kind of made it more like a planned city, because that's what obviously every off-world human inhabited world would be, a planned city. You know, none of these are where humans are native to, because they're native to Earth. It was just something I thought about, and I wondered how they were going to implement it, but it looks like that they've done it, in my opinion, the wrong way. But anyway, there we go. I hope this video was interesting. I mean, it's as far as an actual update, 1.1. I mean, there's nothing huge there, is there? It doesn't feel like a huge update, but I think the community goals is going to be massive. I honestly think it is, and I think there's a few like major changes that players are really going to feel, like, you know, the friendly fire issues being worked on, and I've noticed various things like the AI seem a hell of a lot better at actually docking in stations now. Things like that are going to make you feel a lot better playing this game, even though I don't really have a problem with it anyway. But yeah, so it doesn't feel like a huge update. I'll say that much. But I've got to say that I have a little bit of expectation. I probably shouldn't. I mean, I work for a software developer. I kind of hate it when people expect things of us that we've never said. But I have an expectation that there will be some content, at least a ship or something added, that that they might not expose those of us that have beta testing access to at all. It might just get released into the public. I have expectation of that. Whether I'm wrong to feel that way, I guess I'll find out. But yeah, I think that it's a good step forward. It's not going to blow you away, but I'm really hoping that 1.2 will, when it brings in multiplayer features that are really required for an online game. And I guess some of you will need to wait for that, but I'm quite enjoying playing Elite Dangerous now, and I'm quite happy with what 1.1 is going to bring to it. Thanks for listening, and I hope it was interesting for those of you that don't have access. You know, there's not a huge amount to see there, but I hope it helped and stopped you kind of feeling bad that you don't have the access, and now you've seen some of the things that are in there. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.